And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fair Football on Fair Sport, our first World Cup watch along. And it was off to a bit of a disaster, to be honest. They had technical issue after technical issue. Goodness, as I say, we couldn't have more technical. Oh, no, goodness. And first goal coming up here, Frankie de Jong. Oh, he stuffed it up. Oh, he's buckled. Oh, he's buckled. But yeah, so let's get a poll going. Let's get everything going, shall we? Who will win this match? Senegal or the Netherlands? We'll go through some of the teas. We'll chat about it a bit. And yeah, hopefully we get a couple of favorite sports regulars. I want to try and find some new people. Basically, we are going to be trying to cover the World Cup in as much detail as time does allow. So we're going to do a lot of watch-alongs. We're going to do some, hopefully, some shows about it. And we get stuck into some footy because I've been wanting to try and do footy for a while, and it kind of comes and goes. But you know what better excuse to really get into some footy than the FIFA World Cup, despite this being the most underhyped, potentially could be one of the worst in terms of a non-event World Cup there's been. But fortunately, we can't do much about that. We didn't decide where it was. We didn't decide to put it in a country that we shouldn't have. So, you know, not very much we can do. But yeah, so let's have a look at the team, shall we? And a couple of big names that people might sort of recognize from around the place. So if we look at the Netherlands side, for example, you've got Steven Bergwijn, Vincent Janssen up front. And you think of Gakpo just behind them. You've got a flat four. Well, it's a 5-3 split as well as 5-3 split. Might be coming back to me. You've got a back three, so virtually back five there. So you've got Dumfries and David Blind down the sort of the wing back role. Nathan Ake, Virgil van Dijk, Matthias de Ligt as your three sort of centre backs. And then you've got Berghuis and Frankie de Jong in goals. It's a nice Netherlands side, and very keen to see how this Netherlands side do. I think they've got all the players they need to be proper. But the question is, will they be able to sort of come off? Andries Noppert, the man in goal, and a couple of nice players on the bench for the Netherlands, the likes of a Memphis Depay, who is very much closing into becoming the Netherlands' all-time leading goal scorer. Luke de Jong as well can couple some goals. A couple of other players to look out for, the likes of Xavi Simons, David Klaassen, Steven de Vrij is on the bench, Jurriën Timber. For the United fans, they'll recognize Tyrell Massier. Somebody else who I've mentioned. Tien Koopmeiners is a very nice player, very good midfielder. If we look at Senegalese, no Sadio Mane was sort of the big news. It's been all out of the tournament, so a massive blow to Senegal, who were very much looking to hold the African flag high. And looked has gone down there and won a foul. So yeah, your big sort of players for Senegal. If we look at them across there, Edouard Mendy in goal. He's gonna have to have a big tournament, as is Kalidou Koulibaly, who's the big centre back that's gonna be expected to really basically get this the Senegalese side up to the top and really sort of galvanise their defence. He's next to Cisse, Sabalali and Diallo. In the middle, you've got Cheikh Kouyaté and Mendy. Two nice midfielders there. You got Idrissa Gana Gueye as well, Everton midfielder. Ismail Sarr, very high talented wing on the left there. They're looking for goals from Dia. And then the number 15 jersey for Thomas Crepin Diatta, who plays for Monaco actually in Ligue 1. So those are the two sides for this evening. He's got a Netherlands free kick here. So likes of Van Dijk in the box, De Ligt in the box. So far, no shots on target from either side. A shot apiece, but both off target. So still continue to look for that winner. And it's put in by Berghuis, but well defended by Senegal. No shot coming off of that one. So the Netherlands will have to restart from deep. So yeah, jump in the comments. Let me know who you're supporting. Who's your team for the Netherlands? And it's pretty poor there. Between, I think it was Dumfries. That was actually Gakpo and deadlock, not really sort of too much synergy in between them. But yeah, keen to see how this Louis van Gaal side can go. Obviously, Aliou Cisse, for the Senegalese coach, very highly rated as well. He was actually a former Senegalese captain, and he's also won the African Cup of Nations. So this is Africa's best chance. You do feel that Sadio Mane would have had to have played a big role if they were to have a big World Cup, but you know what? This is the World Cup. This is where we see players we don't necessarily know a lot about. Young players, for example, really take the opportunities and put themselves on the world map. So hopefully, from a Senegal side point of view, we will see that. We'll see a couple of other players put their hand up. For example, Ismail Sarr, I think, is incredibly highly rated. And this is the perfect opportunity for him to sort of make himself a household name. Kind of a bit of a cult hero, you know? We'll also be live tonight. We've got Wales taking on the USA, which will be quite fun. A couple of nice players across both sides. And Wales are kind of like... Wales are a side who I think... nobody expects much from them, but they've always got that upset in them. You know, we've seen them. You know, when they got to the Euro, I think it was the Euro semis. They can sort of be that team that can become a bit of a banana skin, a bit of a bogey side for a couple of sides. So hopefully they'll get off the camera to a cool start. They're playing against England next week, which should be quite a nice little grudge match there. Now this side cuts inside. Well headed away from Van Dijk. I think that actually was destined for the bottom right corner. So a timely intervention there from the Liverpool centre-back. Got inside of deadlock very easy. But I think it's a Dumfries who gets inside. Yeah, deadlock is there making the initial block. And it comes off the top of Van Dijk's head. I think if it misses him, I reckon that it could have been close, actually. Yeah, long ball over the top. Daily Blind heading it away. Senegal looking to try and build a bit of possession inside, but they do lose the ball. Koulibaly, now Chelsea defender. Absolute unit in defense. And yeah, he's going to have to be resolute throughout the tournament if Senegal are going to get out the group stages. Right, Gakpo will deliver from the corner. It is towards Van Dijk, but well wide, so not threatening the goal yet on the Netherlands. Can see a bit of frustration creeping in. 26 minutes gone. More than past the halfway point in the first half. They don't have possession so far, the Netherlands, but haven't really created too many goal-scoring opportunities. So Louis van Gaal, to be fair, that is a bit of a Louis van Gaal thing, isn't it? It's all about you only sort of shoot, you only really go for goal once you know that you have got a good chance of scoring, was his whole sort of mantra at United, which wasn't particularly popular across the United faithful. Koulibaly taking a while before he does eventually boost up. There's a lot of that's got to be a push referee from Van Dijk. Yeah, it's good. I don't know why he's complaining. It's a good decision. Very clear push on Dia there from Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool supporters there. You can't trust them to do anything, really. A bit of a loose ball there. Frankie de Jong will go back and retrieve. Finds a bit of a hole here, Frankie de Jong. He's busy once running across his goal, and it's a pretty, well, Van Dijk wasn't very awake. And can Senegal capitalize? The Dutch have scrambled well, but still with the ball here. Somebody needs to get this in. This is very Harry Cash from Frankie de Jong, and Virgil van Dijk turns his back just as Frankie de Jong was trying to pick him out. So, miscommunication there. And all of a sudden, Senegal on the front foot. And the final shot from Koyate goes well wide. Not his best effort. Now David Blood asking for a couple people to just step up here. Wants to get a few more orange shirts into the half. Diallo forward, and it's pretty poor line. Gets it straight back to the Netherlands. Right, another free kick here for the Netherlands. Gakpo once again the man over it. Still need to try and counter up an actual shot on target. I mean, if you look at the stats, for example, we're sitting here with 2 shots apiece, 3 shots blocked for Senegal, who are the home side today, are they? Yeah, they are. About to say. And Netherlands, 2 shots off target, 1 shot block. Now a bit of a counter-attack here for Senegal, but that's a pretty sloppy pass, and that's taking out all the momentum. Diallo asking for a few people to have options. Nice, he's a bit of options behind the back, trying to run in behind. The ball is too heavy for Van Dijk. He's happy to just put it up for third, actually. Now Diallo on the left-hand side. Yeah, what can he conjure up? Yeah, it's a pretty tame shot in the end coming from Sabali, the Senegalese right back. I think this is the issue, is the fact that they're really trying to find the ball in the box. So we're going to see quite a few long-range efforts, and you're never going to beat somebody of Nopperd's quality from that sort of distance. As they come off a Netherlands foot, it will be a Senegalese throw. Yep, it will be. Dumfries not impressed with that decision. Now, ball in, and once again, just drifting a little bit wide. I think it will be a corner, though. I think in the end, it's actually pretty well defended. So Netherlands are pushing here. They are pushing. Frankie de Jong, ball in, and trying to find Vincent Janssen. Be the Netherlands, for example, the final delivery just hasn't quite been there. They've had a lot of possession in and around the box, but the final delivery is kind of what let them down. Now Gakpo looking to find the likes of a Virgil van Dijk. It sort of just chips into the top, and it's headed up by Koulibaly. It lands back to Gakpo. He's got to square up his defender. That's a much better cross in, but once again, the very large figure of Koulibaly is there, and Gakpo will just let it go out for a throw in and try and restart proceedings. He brings it back to Berghuis. On the ground there to Nathan Aki. To Daley Blind, moving the ball well here. Blind's got a nice left foot. He does look to try and bring it in, but that's very, very poor. Just behind for a goal kick. You can see this disappointment there in Daley Blind. Now, there he is, Memphis Depay. Big question marks over his fitness, but I don't think you can really question... I don't think you can question his quality. He will probably go down as the Netherlands top goal scorer. Interesting. Just making the point that the referee for today has last time he was out there refereeing dished out 2 red cards, so could see a couple of cards tonight. Not really want to see red cards. He's saying good grief, no goals yet. Senegal will be tricky. Loads of players playing in Europe, France, especially tonight's the game. Wales, USA. Yeah, I'm excited for tonight's game. Actually, I was trying to decide before I actually decided to do both of these. I was trying to decide between these 2 games which one I'd prefer to do. And USA Wales, I think is actually gonna be fun. I think it's 2 sides who are a little bit sort of dark horses in that they've got some nice individual players. Where they've got the quality across the park, we wait and see. But I mean, that's sort of, the World Cup's tournament. If one player decides to have a world, and we all remember Diego Forlan in 2010, you go and get you go on a run, and next thing you know, you can single-handedly drag a team pretty far in the tournament. So there are some nice players in that Welsh side as well, as this USA side. In the US, I think we're in the dawn of the next generation of the USA. I think this will probably be a World Cup too far, but interesting to see how good they'll be come 2020. Where are we now? 2026. Yeah. Senegal now with a bit more possession actually, and looking a bit more structured as well. It took a while for the Netherlands to get going, and then they started to dominate proceedings. But now, And Saar trying to keep it in goal. And there's, advantage of the call. It's definitely brought down by De Ligt. Now it's with Saar trying to get in the inside. Dumfries wasn't the best pass, putting a bit of pressure on his midfielder then Gay. Now they'll rebuild through Diallo. Diatta now cutting inside. Now, can we see a Netherlands counter-attack? Yeah, Frankie de Jong driving things out. He's got Ailman to his left. Starts cut inside. Ball out towards Dumfries. To Vincent Janssen. Lays it up. Oh, that's a bit better. That's a bit better from Berghaus. Just over the top. Nice build-up from the Netherlands. And it was just always rising. Yeah, I think the ball just bubbled up a little bit, so you had to hit it on the half volley, and that's probably why it's always rising. Didn't really manage to get over it. Eduardo Mendy happy to let it sail over his crossbar. How's it done? You hope you well. You say, I think these lights shall be a slow burn. Yeah, look, it's the first time we're going to really do football, so it'll take a while to get going. I must admit, I spent my first couple of rugby ones chatting to myself. You know what? If you only talk to yourself, you can always be guaranteed an intelligent response. That's what I always say. So, woo! Across the front of the goal, Nathan Aki getting it away. And Saar's having a good time yet. Has a heavy challenge as well. I think it will be a free kick for Senegal. So into the last 5 minutes. Saar's still down. He's not moving. Taking a while to get up here, but he's definitely got the better of De Ligt. Right, here we go. Standing over the ball is Gay. Plays his football for Everton. Got a proper engine on him. Plays a bit more progressed role, a bit of higher role here for Senegal than he does for Everton. Did a lot of cleaning up work there. It's not the best delivery. Frankie de Jong headers it away quite easily. And they bring it all the way back. You have to just restart from deep for Senegal, but a lot of their players are staying up. They're asking for a ball to be delivered. That's a pretty hard ball, pretty poor ball down the left-hand side. And Gay can't get back to pick it up. So it is a throw in to Netherlands. And as you can see, the coach not impressed with that at all. I think the order should be able to be a bit better now. But yeah, let me know. Wouldn't say I've been jogging particularly far. Playing a bit of cricket, playing a bit of footy. But still drinking far too much beer, unfortunately. But yeah, the VOC team announcement comes out tomorrow at 2, I think it is. I'll have to go check that later. But yeah, I think 2 o'clock was the last time I checked when it's supposed to be coming out. Right, so we're sitting at 43 minutes. Still no shot on target for either side. So, a bit of a slow start here. 3 shots on target for the Netherlands. I suppose actually I lie. We haven't had a shot on target from from Senegal, but it wasn't particularly threatening. Yeah, so you probably think Berghuis' shot off the back of Vincent Janssen's layup is probably the best chance of the half so far. But very little for each keeper to do. That's well played. And the ball away is loose. And Berghuis gets behind Vincent, so Nathan Ake, who's retreating. And it's well treated back. Oh, no, I was going to say it was well done to get back and bring the header back, but it's headed back is far too strong for Mendy, so it does go out for a corner. So with 1 minute to go before just past time, the Netherlands will have a late opportunity here. And Shabari, who I thought actually did quite well, but the header itself actually been quite well for Mendy, who is scrambling a little bit. That's a bit of delivery. Yeah, the ball in the head there behind Dia. Nice contact once again, but just the final ball not quite there. It's kind of in the case of both sides so far. That's a good ball in behind. Izzy on side, but a little bit too hard. Mendy as well positioned to come out and clear. Now, 2 minutes of added time here. So, should be worth time for one more. Our version from Dyke assessing his options. Berghuis is up there, trying to play a bit of 1-2 with Frankie de Jong. He is going to be past to Gay. Now ball outside to Dumfries. Right up against the touchdown. Frankie de Jong just puts it back into the thing. Vincent Janssen is there. That's really good work being done by Vincent Janssen as well. Now deadlock back to de Jong. Pops it up to Bergwijn on the turn. Has been brought down. Ball over the top. Well defended in the end. Now, last 10 seconds. Diatta, I think, is quite happy to just run this till the end, but could be worth... just toss it over the top. Throw it over the top. Might as well. Boring. And last attack. We're well into added time. Yeah, referee not going to have a chat. One last ball. Tam it away, but almost intercepted. It goes out, and I think we will surely have half time here. As the ref not like checked his I checked his watch here. We're 2.5 minutes into here. Into extra time. Wait, call it. Right, half time, and 0-0 between Senegal and the Netherlands. And so far in the World Cup, we've seen quite a few goals. We saw 8 earlier as England hammered around 6-2, so it didn't go particularly well for Iran. This is the third game of the World Cup. We've seen goals in every game so far, the first 2. So you've actually seen 10 goals across the opening 2 games. But it is scoreless of here in this group a clash. And yeah, we'll see you guys after half time. Please do subscribe if you're new. Hoping to try and find some more footy people into the chat. Get some more get some new viewers here. A couple people voting in the poll, but yeah, let's get the chat going, people. And yeah, I'm gonna get a drink, get myself sorted, and we'll see you guys for the second half. Well, and we are back, and it's into the second half. Still scoreless between Senegal and the Netherlands in the third clash of the 2002 FIFA World Cup. A Group A clash, these two in a group with Qatar and Ecuador in Group A. So these two very much the ones expected to go through, although Ecuador doing their chances a world of good by getting a nice comfortable 2-win over Qatar last night. And yeah, but no massive chances yet to speak about. The best chance probably being that rising attempt from Berghuis from outside the box, but was kind of always rising and never really did test Eduardo Mendy. So I think Netherlands will need to be a bit more clinical. Senegal very much looking to hit on the counter. So yeah, as we expected, so Netherlands are dominating possession. Not by much, but 55%. And here we go. It's a good run by Dumfries. And now Gakpo charging to the box and goes behind for a corner. Interesting to start seeing what sort of substitutions we'll see. And Memphis Depay is the main goal-scoring threat in this Netherlands squad. But hasn't played a lot of football this season. Lots of question marks around his fitness. And it'll be interesting to see if he does come on, when he comes on, and how long he plays. Senegal looking for options. So they're trying to find cut a pass, but Van Dijk cutting it up fairly easily. And a free kick here for the Netherlands. Inside their own half. Yeah, I think the biggest thing at the moment is from the Netherlands side is patience, but they haven't really found that final ball. And they just need to find someone that can create that opportunity. But I think probably more importantly almost, you've got to have somebody to finish at the end. So I do think we are talking about a matter of time until we do see somebody like, probably Memphis Depay being introduced. But if he's not going to get in delivery, then it's not really going to help then. So, but yeah, at this stage, Luke Van Gaal's side, just sort of probing. Probing is probably the best way to put it, really. Hell of a lot of empty seats in the stadium, which is pretty poor for the third match of the World Cup. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be a World Cup, which is going to be a very, very low, understated. I think it's probably the kind way of putting it. No, thought he had a corner there, Gakpo, but not getting the decision. Definitely is a corner. That's a pretty, yeah, but still get the corner. Would have been a dreadful decision if he hadn't. Oh, there it is. A much better attempt there. Managed to find Virgil van Dijk's head, but just drifting over wide. Yeah, Garner Gay just not anywhere near him. Koulibaly looks up and Van Dijk is unmarked, and Body actually has to do better than that. It's in the end, it's actually well over. Mendy pumps it downfield. Van Dijk ready the first ball. Live win probability at this stage, sitting with Netherlands 47%, Senegal just 14%, a draw at 39%. Now Diallo down the left-hand side. Trying to find Deer. Daily Blind is well positioned. Ball not cleared entirely. Sabali once again trying to have a dip from quite far away. I think this has gone back for Daily Blind's claiming a throw in, but I think the corner has been given. And Sabali, I mean, it's just, the hit looks like he hit it better than the first time, but you just got to wonder this whole, I mean, you had an opportunity there to get the ball in the box. You know, I think that you're going to have a limited amount of chances here at Senegal tonight, so let's not just go along route one. You know, let's actually try and get into the box, try and get a ball into Dia. I mean, the poor guy's been working his socks off and has had zero support, really, zero quality of delivery, and that's pretty poor clearance there from Watchalong. So just gives him possession back to the Netherlands. 55 minutes, still no subs for either side, actually. So it's a case of, I suppose, of who blinks first. Remember that you can make 5 subs in this World Cup. So first time ever that's going to be introduced. And yeah, that'll definitely favour the extended squads. You know, for example, you look at England and they're already 4-1 up, basically, bringing on Marcus Rashford, Jack Grealish. It's a bit childish, isn't it? The sort of the change you can make. So you look at a side like Brazil, whose depth is just stupidly good. And the fact that they can then bring on 5 changes, well, not quite fair, is it? That's a good run there by Gakpo. Trying to get to the middle. Vincent Janssen was trying to let it go. Koulibaly does come away with it. And a challenge from behind from the left on Sarr is going to earn him a booking, and he's not impressed with that at all. Really good running behind there by Dumfries. And Vincent Janssen kind of just sort of throwing himself past Koulibaly. He was very strong and robust in the tackle and then came away with it. Taz saying Buster Side from USA is a good player, one to watch. Yeah, I'm very excited for you USA versus Wales. I think that USA have got a very exciting young squad. Again, I think it'll be interesting to sort of see, are they ready yet now? I think they're very much a squad, I think, from 2026, if they can progress well. Could be very exciting. But they've got some nice players. And, if a couple of, again, when it comes to World Cups, I mean, anything can really happen. So you go and have a run. You get a couple of players who really come good. And you could see you could be a hell of a competitive. Obviously, Christian Pulisic being sort of, the big one to watch from a American point of view. I quite like Josh Sargent. Obviously, got Gio Reyna plays football for Dortmund. Weston McKennie, the Juventus midfielder. So there's plenty of really good players playing at top clubs. I think that's kind of been the difference at the moment in the new generation of the States. Not a bad ball in at all. Aka gets back. And Sabali once again, where he's tended to always shoot. Now they're looking for a pass inside the box. A lot of Senegalese players forward. 5 players pretty much surrounding the box, looking for a quality ball in. Diallo. No, it's not a bad effort at all. The ball skips towards the back. And Diatta there couldn't get it on the end of it. But yeah, a couple other players for the States. I think Carter Vickers, the Celtic fullback. You've got Matt Turner, for example, the goalkeeper now playing as England for Arsenal. Right, once again, Senegal on the front foot here. It's a pretty poor touch. And happy to go all the way back to an opportunity restart on the Netherlands. Almost an hour gone. Still, nothing separating the two sides. We have yet to see a draw in this World Cup so far. That's bringing it down freeze. Daley Blind making a run towards the back post. Dante just sort of chips towards the back. And De Jong is just sort of really enjoying that sort of watch scene, but behind. Shot, and it is deflected away. And will go down for a corner. Bergwijn happy to see it go. Koulibaly, I think the man making the block on Berghuis, who probably still has the best attempt of the day. Just on the turn here. Seeing a bit of space behind him. Not the worst idea either, but Koulibaly was well aware. Just sticks out that right foot. Happy to kick it in behind. So Gakpo. Here we go. Memphis Depay is being ready. We'll get a half an hour here. His club career is kind of probably just sort of dissipated a little bit. You know, made that move to Barcelona, which I don't think was a bad move at all. But hasn't really worked out for him. So he's played just the he's played 30 games for Barcelona. He has scored 14 goals. So he's scored goals when he's played, but yeah, not a particularly popular figure in there. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the Netherlands, you cannot argue the quality. He scored 42 international goals for his side. He's currently level with Klaas-Jan Huntelaar. He's a good company to be in. Now a bit of time off here. It was a bit of an injury, but we are looking like we're good to go. Right, as usual, Virgil van Dijk will be the target here. Nathan Ake in there as well as Matthias de Ligt. Comes with a Senegalese head. Eduardo Mendy comes out to punch it away. And another set piece well defended so far from Senegal. Right, we're going to see two changes here. Yeah, so it looks like Ismail Jacobs is going to come on, possibly for Diallo, who was injured. But Vincent Janssen makes way for Memphis Depay. Yeah, and very much it's funny how he's become the marquee player. He's the one to a bit of a frustration going in. You could see Memphis Depay, I mean not Memphis, David Blind asking for that ball to be played in. And taking a while. Now they do find a long ball out towards Dumfries. And Diallo is limping towards the change, the touchline. So worrying signs for Senegal. Not somebody that they would have liked to have seen gone down in the first game. You say I'm back. Got someone to go straight by a speech someone posted, but never mind about that. 0-0 sounds it'll be one of those type of games. Heard Dutch people are generally quite cool about this World Cup. Yeah, I wouldn't really know, I suppose, actually, how the Dutch and stuff feel about it. Bergwijn. Frankie de Jong, unmarked in the top of the box there, but still nobody finding him. Nathan Ake trying to move towards the left, to go back towards the right. Trying to draw it. It was a pretty well set Senegal defense out. Structure, though, for Senegal is looking pretty well set. Yeah, we'll probably see Memphis come back and try and collect a bit. Now, could the break be on yet? Diatta does break. He's got two orange shirts around him, one of them being Memphis Depay. Showing his work rate, his defensive attributes there. Now Koulibaly all the way back towards his centre-back partner. As they shifted towards the left to Jacobs, who's just come on in that left full-back position. That's a poor first touch from Diatta as the ball moves out. So, yeah, 63 minutes gone. Still only the one shot on target, I think, is from Senegal. I don't think we've seen I haven't seen a shot on target yet from the Netherlands. Memphis Depay will be looking to try and change that. Right, a free kick for Senegal just inside the Netherlands territory. They bring it back to Koulibaly. Long ball ahead. Is a slip then. Aki just chips it down to headers it down to Frankie de Jong. So heavy touch there from Frankie de Jong. So Senegal do in possession back. Now Diatta's got a couple of options. Diaz, not a bad ball to him. On the turn. That's a good shot. That's a good save. That's the best chance of the game. Well, you did feel that it was going to be a run against my player if Senegal were going to get an opportunity. Heavy touch there from Frankie de Jong, and the ball went back in the midfield. Dia making a nice run on the shoulder of Virgil van Dijk. Just lets it run past him and then finds a snapshot. Not with worthy of the task. This is near post, so it would have been poor from him if it had. You can see it was well hit though. And it's a bit more exciting, more industrious from Senegal. Now they've got a corner. Can they try and really make this pressure count? Long ball back in. Koulibaly fires it across the goal. Oh, that's a bit of a hard. That's really poor. That's really, really poor. They had an opportunity just to sort of tee up Diatta, and the pass just far too hard. Another chance goes begging. Guys, that's a nice ball in behind for Daily Blind. Is the ball going to hold up? It is. He needs options. Does get a deliver first time delivery. It's a nice delivery as well. And on the turn now, Dumfries. But it was a free kick earlier, so they'll come back forward. Really nice delivery there from him, from Daily Blind. And Dumfries judged to have pushed the defender out the way. I think it's been brought to be. I think it's the handball probably more the issue than the push. The push itself was pretty average, to be perfectly honest. But I think it's the handball that they come back for. Use drinking Spanish beer now. San Miguel, St. Michael in English. I've got a bottle of wine in for the Wales USA game. Chardonnay white from many places. It says a blend. I'm taking a break from the booze. Yeah, I got to prepare for the weekend. That's Monday. We're stuck on the H2O. So I'm going to end the poll because I feel like we're 67 minutes in. And 55 people did vote for it. Very much back in the Netherlands. But not that much, eh? Quite a few people saying that Senegal can do a job. And look, they have had the best... they have had the best chance of the game. And Netherlands, I think this half, just... actually been very average, to be honest. So I'd actually argue that after 67 minutes, I think Senegal's still looking probably the more likely to score. And Dia is going to be replaced by Bamba. You got to feel sorry for him. Just sort of ran around. Covered 7.5 kilometers. So put in the hard yards, but... not his day. Didn't get much service, to be fair. And now the Marseille forward, Bamba Dieng, will take his place and lead the line. 22 years old, born in the year 2000. Kayata down and receiving treatment. Well, doesn't need treatment. That's what we're trying to assess. Now, interesting to see what the substitutes might be for the Netherlands. The fact that these things aren't working. the right-hand side seemed to be where they were the most. Oh, it looks a bit of a handoff in a bit of a poor area there from Frankie de Jong. That's a bit of size. Not sure they'll enjoy that, seeing that in the replays there in Qatar. Stretcher has been summoned for Sheikh Kiyate. I don't think it's that serious. Come on, surely not. Basically, there's a handoff in a rather unfortunate area. Come on, man. If you need a stretcher for that, it's not that deep. So one assumes it was more on the takeoff than the actually. I mean, this is ridiculous. He's going to go off. Look at the Senegalese fans. What a vibe. What a vibe. Well, Cheikh Kiyate is going to leave the pitch, and he is one of the major players for Senegal, so this doesn't look good for him. Bit of a strange injury, trying to sort of decide what I mean, basically what happened is that Frankie de Jong gets his bat wrong and kind of pushes him in the groin area, but didn't quite think he was going to be sitting there leaving in a stretcher. Right, so the play is restarted. Cheikh Kiyate did leave in a stretcher, so with 28 minutes to go, it's still 0-0. As the Dutch now seem to play with a bit more urgency, trying to find that breakthrough. Now here comes once again the counter-attack. Shaw carrying up. He's got Bamba with him for company, but a lot of Netherlands shirts have come back. That's an inside ball to Gay. Gay on the volley. That's a brilliant save. Well, once again, Senegal are the ones who are creating the opportunities. A call has come for offside. So I'll try to say where the offside is. I think it's for... it's a great hit here from Gay. It is pretty close to Noppert, so he didn't have to move too far. He had to react, though. It was very well struck by the midfielder. Yeah, it's a good stop in the end. It's a good stop. A couple of changes here for Senegal. Just still the one for the Netherlands. Nicholas Jackson, the Senegal number 7, is onto the park. And he makes his debut, in fact. Villarreal player. Just 21 years old. A lot of young players on display here from Senegal. Jacob's 22 years old, the substitute. So I think Bamba Dieng was 22. Now, the 21-year-old Jackson. A bit of a turn there from Memphis, trying to get in between two players. Now, once again, the counter-attack. And Delicta struggling with pace here on Saar. Saar looking for options. Gives me a way to bang. Bamba, come on, that's a poor option. I'm trying to sort of find the snapshot there, but I mean, he had so much to do. His back was turned. Very little angle to work with. I think it should, yeah, Saar wanted the 1-2 play turn, which definitely would have been the better option. Dumfries now. Well defended, put back in the end. It'll be another corner for the Netherlands as we enter the last 15 minutes. Could we be on our way to our first draw of the World Cup? All right, once again, the defenders make their way up the park. To left, Aki, Virgil van Dijk. Bergwijn. Well, apparently only one goalless draw in the last World Cup, so to have one quite early would be a bit strange. Their delivery coming in. Delivery was from Memphis Depay. Memphis Depay doing it. Needs to be more involved so far as Memphis. Hasn't really had an opportunity to get going. And I think it's not really difficult to understand. When you've got your most dangerous player on the park, get him the ball. That's got to be your biggest priority. Get him the ball in goal scoring areas and let him do the rest. There's Samuel Eto'o watching on. He's saying, show you how old I am. The first World Cup I watched on TV was the 1966 World Cup final. I was 4. Told my dad I wanted the ones in white to win, and he gave me a stupid look. That was Germany. Couldn't have gone down particularly well. Right, a couple of substitutions now. Being ready, mate. Yeah, Bergwijn off. Right, David Klaas comes on. Bergwijn's also leaving the park. And Tian Koop Miners will come into that midfield. Plays for Atalanta. Koop Miners. Was linked to United for a while, actually. No, Memphis. First touch isn't great. The ball's hacked down Parkfield, but only as far as Frankie de Jong. who puts it in behind Ake and out for a throw-in as we enter the last, almost the last 10 minutes. Leaf and Hull looking a little bit stressed with life. Right, Senegal not particularly rushed to take this throw in. I think, look, I mean, at the end of the day, I think if you gave Senegal a 0-0 draw, they'd take it. This is the big game for them. You know, they'll back themselves against Qatar to do the job, and if they can get a point from this, then they probably just need a point from that Ecuador game. Depending on what happens else. If, for example, if that's a good win though by Coop Miners, Klaassen. There's a lot of space down the right hand side for them if they want to use it. Manchester looking for options. Eventually finds Dumfries. Back to Ligt. Frankie de Jong is an option there. Does go to Frankie de Jong. To Dumfries. Dumfries trying to get through two defenders. and Senegal doing well to clear it. Right, Thaki, Netherlands quite slow. That's a poor pass from Virgil van Dijk. Give to possession away. Now could the counter attack be on here for Senegal? Ghana bringing in Ismail Sarr. A lot of support coming. A lot of Senegalese players up forward. Sarr to Ghana again. Sabali trips ahead. Need to find a ball in here. So far, good build up here for Senegal. Quite a few options as well. Now happy to go back. Looking to try and sort of hold on possession. Now the ball, final ball in. Well, they're trying for a penalty. I don't think there's much in there. Yeah, I don't think you can really ask for much there. He goes out, puts his arm all over Nathan Ake, and then Klaus tries to claim a penalty. Pretty poor in the end, and definitely a goal kick. Trying to go long direct to find those Cook Miners was up there. And just legs got caught up. He's saying days of black and white TV. Snooker never worked TVs there with all the light grey balls. Perry Man's interesting staff. Snooker player then. Brilliant, funny character. Yeah, I never really got into snooker, I must admit. Never really been the game for me. Yeah, so 6 touches inside Senegal's penalty area since half time, as the stats just been read out by the commentators, and that kind of shows you how much better Senegal's been in the second half. Possession hasn't really changed. The possession stats haven't really changed, so the Netherlands still have dominated most of the possession. Nah, ball over the top. Now, this could be interesting. Yeah, I've almost attack on there from the Netherlands. Now, ball at the top goes to Memphis Depay. Turns on the turn. It falls back to De Jong. Gives it back to Daley Blind. Inside ball to Memphis Depay. Back to Frankie De Jong. Good ball over the top. And that is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And it's Gakpo who opens the scoring. The perfect ball for Frankie de Jong. You could see it was so telegraphed. You could see the ball in, just clipped it over the top. And Cody Gakpo just did the rest. Heartbreak for Senegal. Jubilation for the Netherlands. Well, there we go. And the wait for a 0-0 draw. That will continue. Netherlands take the lead with 6 minutes to go. His first match in the World Cup. In any World Cup. From Gakpo. And it looks like he might have found the win. 23-year-old. PSV Eindhoven is his club. Eduardo Mendy came for it. He came for a minute. He had to get there first. He actually misses it, to be honest. What did he get in front of him? Trying to work out here. He goes for it. He goes for it. Just, yeah, pops up in front of him. Bang, into the back of the net. That is perfect. Can't ask for much more. That is absolutely brilliant. Right, 5 minutes to go. Now Senegal are going to have to push. This could actually kickstart a bit of a late flurry. First shot on target, from the Netherlands. Alright, now Senegal are going to have to push. Now turnover possession. Number one back immediately away from Senegal. Sabali asking for the ball. Chips it ahead. Jacobs, or Nicholas Jackson, I think it is. Poor touch there from Sabali. Okay. Woof, 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 woof. That's a good shot. That's a good attempt. That's a good effort. That almost snuck in, you know. That almost snuck in. That's actually a very good effort in the end. Ball over the top. Forced to Cisse. And off the head of Ake for a corner. Senegal pushing. And yeah, it's amazing how a goal just changes the entire dynamic. It was the placement, Papagay, who unleashed that shot that looked like it was going to be finding its way to the bottom corner before the intervention of Noppert. What a name, Noppert. The best corner, now ball back inside, and looks like it's too far. And Noppert will take his time, catch it, go down, eat a few seconds. Last 3 minutes, and plus whatever the injury time is. Almost wrong foot. It's actually a very good save in the end. Always curling towards the bottom right corner. I think it would have snuck in as well. So it actually ends up being a very nice save by the goalkeeper. Memphis. Trying to get in between. Still has a Memphis. Back to Frankie de Jong. Blind. De Jong trying to give it back to Klaassen. Klaassen doing well to get back. Now Blind finding Memphis to power down the left-hand side. Memphis look to try and hold this up a bit. Linking up with Daddy Blind. Teammates at United. While ago, De Jong, it's a nice turn from him. Eventually back to Blind. Not too many targets in the box though. Now Klaassen giving himself an option. And Blind wins a throw-in, which will run down a few seconds. 88 minutes gone. 1-0 to the Netherlands. An important 3 points. This is the toughest match in the group, you'd argue. Like Koulibaly launch it forward, but into touch. Quite a few Netherlands players in the corner here. Ball's back to Not many people getting into the box here, so they're looking to try and just keep the ball, which they don't do, but Aki does come back and win a 50-50 here. Nathan Aki had a bit of pressure there. And De Jong winning a foul. That's well done by De Jong. Just sort of turns into a new is coming, goes down, manages to win a foul. It'll run down the clock. Bumba not particularly happy with it, but it was clumsy by him. 40 seconds, then we'll find out exactly how much at a time. I don't imagine it'll be too much. There was an injury with a stretcher, so maybe probably looking about 4 minutes, I'd imagine. Not but launching it deep there towards Dumfries. Klaassen giving chase, trying to put under pressure. It will be a Dutch throw in. Right, how much extra time, yeah. Eight minutes. Where the hell have you found 8 minutes? Goodness me. Yeah, I'm not sure where they found 8 minutes there, must admit. So Senegal still looking for that equalizer, and I don't know what that was. I don't know if that was attempted cross. I don't know if that was a shot. It was about 45 yards out. And Jacobs, I mean, that's just bizarre. What are you trying to do there, mate? It looks like it's a shot, the way he just throws his laces through it. Very unflustered character. Is he the coach? You know what? Keep going. What's going on, chaps? Let's get going. Netherlands are throwing, so continue to try to run things, run the clock down a bit. And they Blinch passing away. Good buddy. Trying to carry that from deep now. Third first touch. Netherlands makes a half tackle, but a force towards the body. It's a good cross in as well. And Dieng is on the end of it, but can only header it over. Right, Gakpo will be replaced. The goal scorer looks like his goal will be the winner as well. Smile his face as he greets his coach. He will be replaced by Martin de Roon. But at this stage, it looks like Gakpo will take the plaudits. Still well over 4 minutes to go in that extra time. They did find 8 minutes from somewhere. Not entirely sure where. And there will be a card here for Nampos Mendy. Now a bit of a altercation there as we enter the last 3 minutes. And another free kick here. Claessen's down. And another yellow card. So this one's for Ghana Gay, who you do imagine will pick up quite a few throughout the rest of this World Cup. But yeah, I mean, just I think Senegal now, just in the desperation and their frustration, just losing a bit of discipline here, and they've got to be careful, you know. And you get frustrated. You're trying to push for winner. Obviously, they're trying to slow things down very intentionally, but you can't lose your head. You've got to remain disciplined. You can't make it any easier than it already is to try and waste time here. Right, so Bali, last 90 seconds here. Not much time for Senegal to try and cook something up. They're still trying to run in their own half, and Coop Miners comes and just puts the ball behind, so that'll waste a few more seconds. So it does look job done. Senegal looked very good at pass, I must say, and definitely had the two best chances before that brilliant finish from Gakpo. Will probably be the difference. But I think Senegal will be frustrated because I think they know that they had their chance to win this game. Missed, obviously, Sadio Mane, as you will, but a couple other players to stand up. I thought that Ghana Gay's been pretty industrious. Koulibaly's been pretty authoritative in his defense. Memphis Depay winning the ball again. And they're just sort of keeping them parked just about their own box, actually. But now the Senegal will break. They've got 30 seconds left to try and create some chance. But the ball out's not good enough, and Dumfries has come away with it. Does concede a free kick, though. But Timbo Ivy saying Senegal will have to beat Ecuador. Yeah, they're all to do, you know. I mean, the assumption is that all three teams will beat Qatar. Qatar didn't exactly look particularly good last night, so I don't think they'll have to play particularly well to beat them. But then, yeah, you know, obviously if Netherlands do come unstuck against Ecuador, Senegal will be the match that will probably determine who goes through seconds with Netherlands, assuming Netherlands does do the business against Ecuador. But if Ecuador go and find a draw against Ecuador, for example, then yeah, Senegal. So basically, yeah, Senegal, that a big match for them. They've got to beat Qatar, and then they've got to go and try and beat Ecuador. I'm trying to find out which one they're actually playing in first. Now, last chance for Netherlands. Depay. Claessen's. Well, that's just heartbreaking, isn't it? Well, 2-0. Goal difference could play a part, so that's quite important, actually. Memphis Depay forced to save on the counter-attack. Claessen's was there to follow up. And a Senegalese side, which has played well with a lot of heart, will go down 2-0. But yeah, and then goal difference can be a big part here. So yeah, so Senegal will go down 2-0. Their next game will be against Qatar on Friday at 3 o'clock. They then play against Senegal on Tuesday next week. So Yeah, and Klaassen here. And here, the commentators did say, Oppen pops up with a goal. And he's done exactly that. And you said the prediction was right, goal in injury time. Yeah, fair shot, fair shot. You got to wonder if, I mean, he does get quite a big hand to it. Probably should be keeping this out. But he's always scrambling there after making the initial save. And look what it means to the Dutch army. De Oranje, 2-0. And we're almost to the 100th minute. We are into the 100th minute of the game. Referee still not blowing it. It was 8 minutes of injury time. 90 plus 9 was that Klaassen goal. Ball does run out. And the stadium, which wasn't particularly full originally, does now empty. Yep, and there comes the final whistling. Right, final score, Netherlands 2, Senegal none. Gakpo with the opener, Klaassen with the finishing touches into injury time. And Senegal, well, they have a lot to do against Ecuador. They'll take the positives out of this game. They were competitive for the last part of it. They didn't play badly at all. So I think from a coaching perspective, they'll probably be quite happy with it. Koulibaly looking very upset with life, but I think they'll look at it and sit there and say we were competitive for 90 minutes. And yeah, they can get past Ecuador, knock out foot. He is completely something else. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. We will be live later for Wales versus USA, so hopefully we'll see you guys some more then. Should be a really cool game. A lot of big players on display. And yeah, so thank you very much for jumping in. If you are new, please do subscribe to the channel. And yeah, this is our first game of our FIFA World Cup coverage. A lot more to come in the coming weeks. 64 matches. We are looking to cover probably about sort of half of that. We'll do a lot of big games. We'll do a lot of the playoffs, trying to do all of the playoffs ahead of the final, which is about mid-December. So 12 goals in the opening 3 games. The 2-0 at the first two, well, the first game and this game, and then a 6-2 earlier this time. So far, we have seen quite a few goals in this World Cup. Hopefully, that trend will continue. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys a bit later.